Hey folks, thank you for joining us at the Hearing Club. My name's Brian, and today we're going to go over something really exciting, and that is the new Rexton app that's available for your Rexton hearing aids. Now, this app is also available for the Signia hearing aids because Signia and Rexton are both made by the same manufacturer, so everything should be the same. It just looks a little bit different. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Rexton version. Now, we're going to be showing you how to connect your hearing aids to your phone, how to use the app, and what makes this app so amazing and so powerful. So if you find this video useful and you would like to see more, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever new Hearing Club videos come out. And if anybody has any questions, please leave them in the comments below. We will get them answered, and one of your questions may appear in one of our next videos. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you've purchased hearing aids anytime in the last few years, chances are that they have wireless and Bluetooth capabilities. And if that's the case, I highly suggest that you try out the app that goes with your hearing aids. You can control your hearing aids from your phone and just do so much with them. It's amazing. And a lot of my patients, when I first mention the app, they just run away in the opposite direction. They want no part of it. But once they try it, they love it and they can't live without it. And something I always tell my patients is, you're going to be wearing hearing aids for the rest of your life. You might as well get the most out of them. And the app allows you to do just that. Now, in this video, we're going to be using an Android phone, the Galaxy S22. And we're going to be putting out a video on how to do this because it is slightly different if you have an iPhone, but just as useful. And that video should be coming out really soon. Now, the only thing you're going to need to get this working is an Android phone with operating system Android 8 or higher, a fully charged set of Rexton hearing aids, and an internet connection or Wi-Fi connection. Now, to get started, go ahead and open up your Google Play Store. That's where you're going to download the Rexton app. And then just type in Rexton up in the search bar, R-E-X-T-O-N. Once you see the Rexton app on your screen, go ahead and select it and install it. And this should only take maybe a minute or two. Now, once the app is finished installing, you should see an open button, and you could just open the app right there from the Google Play Store, or you can locate the app on your phone by either searching for Rexton or by going to your main home screen, swiping up from the bottom right corner, and scrolling to the right until you see the Rexton app. Once you find it in the list of all your apps, you can just hold down on it with your finger until you get an option that says Add to Home Screen, and that will put it right on your home screen. Once all that's been done, go ahead and open up the app. Now, once the app loads up, you're going to be presented with a couple of things that you just have to agree to. So go ahead and check both of the boxes and then go ahead and hit Accept. Once you do that, you're going to be presented with a couple of options, and you want to select the top one that says Bluetooth. Then the app is going to tell you that it needs to have location services turned on to scan for your hearing aids. So go ahead and either hit while using the app or only this time. Either one will work. Now it's going to tell you that you have to switch your hearing aids off and then back on. And the reason you do this is because you have to put the hearing aids in pairing mode so that they can be found by your phone. If they're not in pairing mode, you're not going to be able to find them when you go to search for them. Now, there's two ways to shut your hearing aids off and then turn them back on. If you have rechargeable hearing aids, you could simply just place them in the charger and that will shut them off and start charging. Leave them in there for a few seconds and then take them back out, and then that will restart them and turn them back on automatically. And then they'll be in pairing mode for a couple of minutes. The alternative way you can do it is by holding the volume down button for about 5 to 10 seconds until they shut off. Now, if you don't have any indicator light on your hearing aids, you'll have to put them in your ear and listen for the melody that plays when the hearing aids are powering off. And then once they turn off, go ahead and repeat the same process. Just hold the volume down button until they power back on. And once again, you could just listen for it if you don't have a light, and it will play another sound letting you know that the hearing aids are powering on. Now, if your hearing aids are not rechargeable, you simply just open the battery door and then close it again, and that will restart your hearing aids, and they will be in pairing mode for a few minutes. Now, you're ready to hit OK and have the phone start searching for your hearing aids. Now, this process shouldn't take too long to find your hearing aids, and then once it finds them, you should actually see both your left and right hearing aids appear on the screen. Now, just a couple tips to make things easier. You're going to want to make sure you have fresh batteries if your hearing aid takes batteries, or you want to make sure that your hearing aids are fully charged for them to connect. So if for some reason it's not finding your hearing aids, make sure they're fully charged and just go ahead and throw them on the charger until they're done. And then try it again. So once you see both your left and right hearing aids, go ahead and just tap on it and it will start connecting to the hearing aids. So once you hit let's go, you're going to get another message saying welcome to Telecare. You can go ahead and skip that for now, but if you plan on doing Telecare or telehealth, which is a way for you to get help with your hearing aids from your hearing instrument specialist over the internet, they can actually help troubleshoot your hearing aids and make changes to your hearing aids as well without even having to show up at the office. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to go ahead and skip Telecare setup, so go ahead and press that button. And remember, if you have any trouble with any of this, please leave it in the comments, let us know what's going on, and between John and myself, we will get you up and running. So once you hit skip and they finally connect, you're going to be presented with the welcome screen. You can go ahead and hit the discover button to learn a little bit about the app, but that's what we're here for. So you can go ahead and skip the introduction, and then you should be at the main screen with your volume controls. And congratulations, you have successfully connected your hearing aids to your phone with the app, something that you probably never thought was possible. Now at the bottom of the screen, you're going to have 3 different tabs. One of them is going to be a speaker icon, and that is for your volume. So here you can control both the left and the right hearing aid volume separately or independently. And if you want to be able to control them both at the same time and have them be in sync with each other, you can change it to just one volume control by pressing the button at the bottom between the 2 volume controls. It looks like it has 2 lines and 2 dots in a circle. That will combine your 2 volume controls so that you can control both the left and the right at the same time with just one slider. And you can switch back and forth as often as you like. So you might be wondering, well, why would I want to change the volume of the left and the right independently? And what I tell folks is this. Imagine riding in the car and you're driving and you're trying to talk to your husband or your wife that is in the passenger seat, but your left hearing aid is picking up all that road noise from the window and the tires on the road, and it's just really hard to hear your partner or your loved one that's sitting in the passenger side. Well, in that situation, you could turn the left hearing aid down so you don't get as much of that road noise, and you could turn the right hearing aid up because that's the one that's closest to your partner that you're trying to talk to and listen to. Now, you may have noticed a picture of somebody wearing a mask up in the upper right corner, and this is something new that they've recently added, and it's a really cool feature. So this is going to help you understand people that are wearing a mask easier, because sometimes when they're wearing the mask, it's even harder to understand what they're saying because we can't read their lips and the mask kind of muffles their voice. And when you press that button and activate mask mode, which you can turn on and off just by pressing the button, it will actually change some of the gain settings in different frequencies in your hearing aid to bring out the voices a little bit more and make it not so muffled. I wouldn't say it makes it night and day, but it does help a little bit, and it's a really nice feature. Now we're going to take a look at the second tab, or the middle tab that's at the bottom of the screen with the 2 little waves, and that is your sound balance, or what I like to call the equalizer. Now, the volume controls and the equalizers are something that you're going to find in most hearing aid apps across the different manufacturers, and this one's no different. So it starts you off in the middle, which is kind of neutral, and that is the way that the hearing aids are set from your hearing instrument specialist at the office. Anytime you want it to go back to normal, the way that they have it set, you're going to want to put it back at 0 again, which is your neutral or your default setting. Don't worry, by changing any of these settings, you're not going to mess anything up, you're not going to hurt anything. When you shut the hearing aid off and turn it back on, or anytime you place it in the charger at night when you go to bed, everything gets reset and back to normal whenever you get up in the morning and put your hearing aids in. Now, what this sound balance does is it can actually change the way everything sounds through your hearing aids by either adding more high frequency noise and sound or by adding more lower frequency noise or sound. So if you want to get a little more crispness or get more of those higher tones that you've been missing, you can turn it upwards to the treble side. And at the opposite side of the spectrum, you can add a little bit more low frequency sounds or low tones. This just gives you a little bit more customization of the sound and lets you alter the way things sound to your taste and to your liking. So as a hearing aid user, you may have heard the word tinny or hollow, or maybe you've experienced your hearing aid sounding a little tinny or a little hollow, like you're in a tunnel. And this will give you a way to kind of rectify that and change it so it doesn't sound so tinny or it doesn't sound so hollow. So if your hearing aids are on the tinny side, you can move that slider down towards the bottom, towards the bass side, and get rid of some of that tinniness. And again, the opposite direction by going up can reduce some of the hollowness by adding treble or more high frequency sound. And I just tell folks, if you're ever having trouble understanding somebody, or you are having one of these issues, just play around with it, slide it up, slide it down, and see if it makes things better. And chances are it probably will. Now the third tab at the bottom, the one all the way to the right with the circle, is your directional hearing. And this will actually change the direction that the microphones are picking up sound. Now by default, it's set to automatic. So for example, if somebody's to your right and they're talking, your hearing aids are smart enough to pick that sound out, and it knows that it's speech that you want to hear, so it will actually focus on that and deliver that speech to you. But this gives you the option to manually change the direction in which your microphones are picking up sound. And it also allows you to change the scope or the size of the cone that your hearing aids are listening for sounds. And you can change it by pressing either the up, down, left, or the right arrow. An example of when this might come in handy is if you go to a restaurant with your loved one and it's just you and the other person and you're talking and you're sitting across from each other, and you're hearing all these noises from behind you and from the sides, maybe a couple talking or maybe a baby crying in the back. And your hearing aids are picking up all of that. So to fix that, you can actually press on that up arrow and it will change the directionality of the microphones so that the microphones are just listening for what's in front of you, which would be your loved one that's sitting across the table, and it wouldn't be picking up so much of the sounds behind you and to the sides. This is a really neat feature, and again, it just gives you control of where your hearing aids are picking up sound. But if you're the type of person that doesn't really want to mess around with stuff like that, you can just leave it on auto and you can just let the hearing aids do their thing. Now, another nice feature of this app is you can actually check the status of your hearing aids, such as the battery life and whether or not they're connected by Bluetooth. And you can access that by looking at the very top of your screen, and you'll see a little chevron or a little down arrow, and you press that and you will get this drop down of the battery life and, like I said, the connection status. Now, I must warn you, the battery life isn't 100% accurate, but it does give you a rough idea of how much you have left in the batteries. Now, earlier in the video, you may remember me mentioning how this app is the most powerful one that's out right now, and I'm about to show you why. Up at the top right of the screen, you're going to see a little box with a question mark in it, and that is called the Rexton Assist. Now, these hearing aids have built-in artificial intelligence, and they are so advanced, it is crazy. And you're about to learn all about it by pressing on that square with the question mark. That is called the Rexton Assist. And if you have the Signia version of the hearing aids, it is called Signia Assistant. And it is absolutely amazing technology, and there's nothing else like it out there. Well, not that I've seen anyway. So what this allows you to do is fix virtually any issue that you're having with your hearing aids. As a new hearing aid user, you may remember the first time that you got fit with hearing aids, and what was the first thing that you noticed that was really different and kind of weird, maybe bothering you? You guessed it, the sound of your own voice. When you first get hearing aids, it can be really strange and very uncomfortable, and for a lot of folks, it's a really tough hurdle to get over. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, when somebody first wears hearing aids for the very first time, the hearing aids are amplifying everything or making sounds louder, and one of those things that gets amplified is the sound of your own voice. Usually you'll start talking a lot quieter because you think you're really loud, and it makes perfect sense. Well, I'm going to use that as an example. You can go into the Rexton Assist and it will give you different options for different things that you're having trouble with. And one of them is your voice. So when you press on voice, it's going to give you a couple options. your voice is too loud, or maybe your voice sounds unnatural, or maybe your own voice sounds too soft, or maybe even nasally. Yes, these are all issues that you can have with your hearing aids, and it's very common. So let's say that your own voice sounds kind of nasally and you just don't like it. It bothers you. You can go ahead and click on nasal, and it will apply a fix to that. And it's going to go into your hearing aids and change the way it sounds. And if you select that option, the AI is actually going to apply a fix and make it sound different. Normally, to fix a problem like that, you would have to call up your hearing instrument specialist or your audiologist and let them know that you're having trouble. You'd have to set an appointment, maybe 2 or 3 weeks out, finally go to the office, and they would try to fix it, and then you would take your hearing aids home and see if it was any better, and it may or may not be. Then you could have potentially wasted all of that time. Well, now you have the power to fix this yourself, all with the touch of a button. Now, when it applies this fix and it changes the way your voice sounds, you have the option of keeping that fix if it sounds good and you actually like it, or you can revert back to the way it was before, or you can increase the fix and have it change it even more. It is absolutely amazing. I have never seen this much power and this much control of one's hearing aids. And that's just one example of an issue that you can be having and fix yourself, all with this amazing app. And there are several different things that you can fix or change depending on what category of issues you're having. Is it sound quality? Is it your voice? Is it other people's voices? There are so many different options depending on what you're experiencing, and you could totally experiment with all the different options. And remember, if you don't like the change, you can go back to the way it was before. If you have issues like your air conditioner, whenever it turns on, it is just super loud and driving you crazy. Or maybe when your refrigerator starts running and it drives you crazy and it's just so loud and constant and just always there. Well, you could just tell your hearing aids to fix it using the Rexton app. It is unbelievable. And then on top of all these things that you can change and you could experiment with, there's also a section at the bottom that contains instructions and how to do certain things, how to insert your hearing aids, how to charge them, how to clean them, how to turn them on, how to troubleshoot certain things like whistling and feedback. There are so many different things in this app that you can do. It has got to be one of the most helpful and most advanced apps that I've ever seen for a hearing aid. Now, I tried to make this video as short as possible, but as you can see, we didn't quite make it. There's just so many things that you can do with this app, and I just didn't want to miss anything. Now, I know I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you have any trouble or any questions or you need help with something, please let us know in the comments and we'll get you there. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see future videos like this. And we're going to be doing a video on the iPhone on how to connect your hearing aids and just so much more. So thank you so much for watching, folks. I hope this was helpful and you all have a lovely day.